Great day, great people. Here with a Faith Mind Empowerment Maximizing Monday. So I will give it a few minutes, give time for some people to join. Let's see if we can. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm super excited about Maximizing Monday tonight. I will give it a few minutes. Let's dim this light a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Let's see. So great people. So I want to jump right on into it tonight. Tonight, this is Maximizing Monday. If you are new here to the YouTube live here, I just want to go over with you what Maximizing Monday is all about. Why did it come about? Actually, how Maximizing Monday came about with me. One live I was doing, and it dropped in my spirit on certain topic and certain things that we were talking about to actually go in and maximize those areas in our life. So, for example, I would invite people and experts on to share whatever topic we're talking about. For example, if we're talking about credit, there are some information and things you can do to maximize your credit. Just using this for example, but tonight we're talking about faith and wisdom is literally a marriage. And what we want to do with faith and wisdom, we want to take it and apply it to our life and maximize every area of our life with faith and wisdom. So tonight, we're literally going to jump into maximizing faith and wisdom. Those two entities is literally a marriage in our life. And let me tell you why. In the book of faith, in the book of Hebrew, it talks about Hebrews 11:1. It talks about now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen, right? So let's break that down and let's literally define that. Okay, so now faith is, right? We have to understand that we have to use faith to literally create. We have to use faith to literally, even though we cannot see it physically with our eyes, we have to see it through vision. So let's break that down. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. So now means now, like right now, like meaning we cannot postpone now because it's like right now in the moment, right? Hey, Shaquana, thanks for joining. So now faith is. So now means now, in this very moment. Like we have to take advantage of the very moment. What now is catapulting us into now faith. Meaning we'll take that positive faith and use it in our right now moment to create and decree a thing. Stay with me. Stay with me. So now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Even though we cannot see it with our physical eye, we can use the eye of vision through our wisdom to look in the eye and through the lens of wisdom and use our positive faith to create right this very moment. Like right now, if we're creating something in this very moment, we can speak something right now and decree it and declare it, even though I physically cannot touch it, even though I physically cannot see it. But what I can do is I can decree and speak a thing with my faith, with my wisdom, and it shall happen. Our mouths, what we speak out of our mouth, literally has power. Our words is literally power of faith being spoken, even though it's not tangibly there yet. But because we speaking it in our now moment, and we decreeing it and declaring a manifestation to happen through our faith. So listen at that. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Right? Even though I'm believing God for a house, even though I physically cannot see the house with my own two eyes, I can go look at a house. I can get a picture of a home similar or the exact house what I'm believing God for. And I can use my wisdom and my knowledge and my understanding to do my very research on what's the very steps that I need to get there. Some people be like, I'm my credit probably is not that good to get a house. How do you know? Like, is that the noun faith that you want to speak? Because it's programs out here that you can get a home through that only goes by your character, not your credit. We can speak and decree a thing with our noun faith in the wisdom of God that we have. We can speak it into existence. Sorry about that, guys. Let me cut my phone on silent. Right? So, think about this. I can drive to the location of the house that I see that I want. I can put faith in action. I can, whatever the instructions is from God, I can decree and declare it out of my mouth. I can go to that house and walk. Like, you can literally go to that house and walk on the ground of the house. And you can decree and declare it with what we just read earlier. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Thanks for joining, Laverne. So we have the power to operate in noun faith. Okay? It could be a significant amount of money that you're requiring for the very purpose that God needs to fund what you need to be doing that align with your purpose. I can literally take my pen and I can literally write down and decree and demand the date for that amount of money to be available. And God will divinely connect us, divine appointment, divine connection. Because we have to believe what we speaking and saying. We can't just say, oh, I'm going to just claim it. Or I'm just speak it into existence. You still have to believe. You still have to believe. So when we're talking about faith and wisdom as a marriage, right? Faith and wisdom is a marriage. The wisdom is what is going to give you the exact instructions to I shouldn't say, that particular blessing will become tangible. You can now touch it. It will give you the instructions to get there. It will give you the guidance to get there. It will give you the knowledge to get there. It will give you an understanding to get there. Because in some things, there is a process. But once you speak it out of your mouth, that's the kind of power you hold. Let me share another one with you, why I know it confirms the power you hold. Ephesians 3:20. Now to him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we can ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. You see how faith and wisdom is a marriage? You see how that works now? Because that proves right then and there, that particular scripture proves that you have the power on the inside of you to go to that next step, to make sure that the thing that you're believing God for, the thing that you're speaking into existence in faith, the thing that you're believing and decreeing and declaring, that now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Now, that's where wisdom leads you to your power to say, it's already done. Now it becomes tangible to me. Because we were made in God's own image and his likeness. We have the power we're literally faith power outlets, literally. And I think I talk about this a little bit in my first book that I wrote. We are literally faith power surges. We can take any outlet of our five senses and literally use it to be that faith power surge. We should be so in tune with our faith, with our wisdom, with our power, that we should be able, no matter what somebody else is going through, they should be able to plug into us and get the power they need. We should have enough power and enough faith that even if I come and say, hey, Quana, hey, Laverne, whatever you believe in God for, I'm going to touch and agree with you that it's already done. Where there's 2 or 3 gathered in his name, it's already done. So where there's 2 or 3 are gathered in the name of faith, you are literally faith power surge. I can touch and agree with you, and it's already done. Literally, it's already done. I'm going to give you an example of how I know that it's confirmation that it's already done. Have you ever had somebody that text you or call you up or shoot you an email and says, I'm going through something. Can you pray for me? Why would somebody call you up and ask for prayer from you? Because at some point or another, they have seen your faith walk. At some point or another, they have seen something in you that exudes that power from your very being. I don't know. Somebody could have seen it in your eyes. Somebody could have seen it in your persona. But however, we are literally faith power surges walking around. Meaning, we can plug into just about anything we believe in and dream in and believe in God for, whether it's in our purpose, whether it's in our business, whether it's in our family. In every area of our life, we are literally faith power surges walking around. And that confirms right there that you can plug into anything and it becomes something. Right? So this is the, oh, thank you, Lord, for reminding me about that. Let me just share something with you that happened recently to me. And, well, I witnessed something. I witnessed something that happened that it was literally confirmation for me that faith is working, even when we're not working. Let me just show you how powerful, because we was made in God's own image and his likeness. Let me show you how powerful we really are and how awesome faith is to us. Faith will work for us even when we don't work. I know that sounds contradicting, but let me explain. Faith will literally work on our behalf even when we don't work. Let me show you something. Have you ever been in a tight crunch, right? And this is I just recently witnessed this too. And I witnessed something like this more than one time, what I'm about to share with you. You ever had a deadline you had to meet and you was in a tight crunch? And a lot of times we already know that we are emotional beings, right? We have emotions that arise when, and you have anxiety can come up when you know you're in a crunch, your back is against the wall, you're in the corner, you know you have this deadline, and you know this deadline has to be met by a certain time. Let's just say the certain time was 12 midnight. And you knew all day that you tried to exceed every resource you had. And not one time did we stop and say, well, let me just pray about it. Let me just command in faith for the very thing to obey me, and it'll come right to me. Because we are literally faith dominions in the earth realm. That's a whole nother a whole nother video and podcast and live. We're literally, God has given us dominion in the earth. And all we worrying, stressing, got anxiety. Oh, it's 11:59. Like nothing's happened by 11:59. But then when you pull yourself together and realize, oh man, I'm really stressing for nothing. All I had to do was stop and command in faith for the very thing that I needed to happen by 12 to come in full fruition. Matthew chapter 21. It says, whatsoever we pray and believe without doubting, in faith we shall receive. So, being that I had dominion in the earth, all I had to really do is stop and not allow anxiety and worry to take over that moment for me. All I had to do was stop and speak and through my dominionship is command that thing in faith to happen by the very time that I need it to happen by. Or whatever the very thing is to show up at that very time I need it to show up. But this is the thing. We have to evict fear. We have to evict worry. We have to evict anxiety out of those areas and allow faith to totally take over, because we have dominion in the earth, and all I had to do was speak and decree and command that very thing to happen by that very time. And so I happened to be, I was like, what am I doing? So I was like, I stopped and I thought about it. Like, what you doing? You have dominion in the earth. Like, all you have to do is literally speak, decree, and demand it in faith and believe without doubting, and it can happen on a dime. And literally, when I stopped and realized, like, what you doing? Wake up. Like, when I spoke it, it happened on the dime. On the dime. And I'm like, God, forgive me. Like, I postponed my faith at that moment. because I'm sitting here trying to grab resources out of everywhere I could, north, south, east, and west. And all I had to do is stop because I had dominion in the earth realm and commanded to come to me. And I'm just like, what are you doing? But because, the focus, that's why I say all the time, what we focus on the most grows. Had I been focused on the faith and had I been focusing on the dominion that I had in the earth realm, it could have saved me stress, time, energy, and money. Right? But I just wanted to share that with you guys just to remind you that, we literally have the power. We literally are faith power surges walking around that we can plug into, that we can say, you know what? It can happen in the now hour. Now faith is now. Now faith is will bring it into full fruition now. I don't have to wait for it. It can come right now. Even if it's an amount or amount of currency that I need, it can happen now. Because literally, I can just speak and decree it. God can put it on somebody's heart and call you up and be like, hey, God told me to drop 250 on you. I don't know what it's for. I'm just being obedient. Right? And I've seen it happen time and time and time again. I'm going to share. Hold on. I'm going to share. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show y'all something. Let me tell you how powerful. God gave me this a couple years ago. Let me tell you how powerful we really are when I say that. I'm not just saying it for us to take this lightly. This is a real deal. Like, let me show you something. God gave me this some years ago, right? Faith the Millionaire. Okay. Let me read this to you just to confirm the power you hold. Check this out. This is what God gave me about us as his people, as his children. Faith the Millionaire. And anything that has air on the end, you part ownership of that. Or you ownership over that particular thing. Check this out. A noun, right? A person who has dominion and power, authority over national territories, and dimensional faith, unlimited access to command tangible manifestation, and possess faith inheritance with extreme belief. So it goes right back to our belief. I say we can have faith, but we got to believe too. So that the very thing that we believe in God for becomes tangible. I can now touch it. I can touch it, right? So I said all that to say this. That's the power you hold. You are a faith millionaire in the earth realm. You, at any given moment in the now moment, you can declare faith to operate on your behalf, to bring you tangible results, to bring you the very thing you cannot see with your naked eye. It becomes tangible. You can now touch it. You can now put your hands on it. I promise you, when you write it down in your faith power, write it down and put a date to it. I promise you it will come tangible to you the date you put it down. I just shared it with you. That's the power you hold. You are a faith millionaire in the earth realm. And I'll talk a little more on that on another live. I'll go in depth with that. That's maximize these two, and I promise you, your life will be transformed into so much greatness, and the things you believe in God for, you will have access to it quickly. I'm living it. So I just wanted to jump on and share this Maximizing Monday. I promise you, operate and maximize these two entities. Just try it out this week. Matter of fact, tonight, go write it down. Put a date to it and what you believe in God for. Faith and wisdom is a marriage. It works hand in hand. It's a team. I promise you. Watch the power that ignite within you. Watch how the power that you will gain access to the things you cannot see, that will literally become tangible to you. So that's all I have, guys. Thank you for joining this Maximizing Monday. Maximize faith and wisdom on today and the rest of this week. And I'm telling you, your life will be forever changed. Your life will literally explode in power. Your life will literally have access to tangibility, to the very things you cannot see. Love y'all. Go be great.